Hi, good afternoon. My name is, I did it wrong.
Well, your name is Lisa, but okay.
Okay.
Me.
You know, as soon as you screw up, you just giggle. Okay.
Oh crap, hang on, I dropped a stitch. We can't start until I fix this. I can't see it.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Codependent Knitters Podcast, episode 24. It's November 14th, which neither one of us could believe. And this is my friend Dawn.
This is my friend Lisa.
And we're the Codependent Knitters.
We are in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. And it's a nice sunny day. So we've got lots of bright light in here. Finally. It's been gloomy and rainy and occasionally snowy.
I don't like the snowy part. I'm not ready for that.
No, we don't do snow. And yeah, welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new.
Perfect.
This is a knitting podcast, usually.
Yes.
Mostly.
The knitting lifestyle.
The knitting lifestyle. That's a good way to put it. Because we talk about more than just knitting. We talk about things we do too.
Then we'll have to call it our knitting lifestyle.
Our knitting lifestyle. Hey, that is a good title for the new stuff we want to talk about.
Oh, that's good.
There you go.
Yay, high five.
Okay. We're hoping this won't be a crazy long episode. So, not like the last few have been.
Okay.
So, speaking of knitting lifestyle,
Yes.
and the things that our knitting, or the places our knitting takes us, we went to London a few weeks ago. Actually,
Yes.
it was right after our last recorded
Actually,
episode.
it was the next day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Awesome.
Actually, it came, yeah, because the episode came out the day we went to London, I
Right.
believe. So we went to London, and we went to London Yarns, and we haven't...
In their new location.
Yeah, they moved. Well, we haven't been there since they moved to their new location, which is not very far from their old location. But we popped in there and had a look around, and I found a case for my interchangeable needle set. My set came in one of those clear kind of vinyl zipper cases, and the zipper broke, like it completely broke. Like you can't even
the handle?
The loopy thing broke right off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I couldn't even fix it. And when I zipped it up, it had little gaps below the zipper. So sometimes if I had like stitch markers and things,
you know what? I
stuff
think I
would
know the
fall
one
out.
you're talking about. It's more like a makeup bag.
I actually threw it out.
It's a makeup bag and it zips across the top.
Well, no, it's made for the needles. Like it came,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't have, like there's a gap. The zipper goes right across the top, and then there's a space. So sometimes stuff would
I didn't
fall
like
out.
those because they were like makeup bags because things fall
Yeah.
out the side.
So it finally broke. So I needed a new one. And I got this one, which is I believe a Knit Picks bag. And I picked it up at London Yarns. And I got a few loose things in here, but it's got lots of room. There's a zip pocket on each outer side. Whoops. And if you tip it upside down, your tips will fall out. But there are, I'll try not to do that. There are lots of spaces for your different sizes. And these are the ones that all fall out on my big ones. So there was a different style that they had that had longer pockets. And so,
right.
do you remember she told us, she showed me a different one.
It was similar. It was the same one, different color, but it was for crochet hooks.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
And because I have bought, you can just see it peeking out there. So if I push down at the bottom, they pop up. I have bought short tips in some of the sizes I use for hats and things, because I just find it easier to have that little bit of extra space on a 16-inch circular. So that way my short tips will fit in here and I can still get them, but I just usually have to push them up.
Very good.
So we'll clean all that up later. But yeah, I just love it. So I was really happy to finally have that and be able to now zip my case up and take it places. And then I found, I'll talk about the project when we talk about our whips, but I'm working on a project where I am using Sublime Baby Cashmere Merino Silk DK. And I don't know if the line is discontinued or just some colors are discontinued, but it's getting harder to find. And it's beautiful yarn. I bought a whole bunch at 2 different stores. They had it on clearance. And I think they said it was discontinued.
Yeah.
So I bought a bunch of colors, mostly neutrals, like there were different shades of grays. And then this is actually a lighter color.
Why don't you just, you're talking about it, so why don't you just talk about it now? What you're going to make with it.
Well, okay, we can. And I had, yeah, so the reason why I was happy to find, I didn't find more of the Sublime Decay. I found a substitute because I cast on, in my last year's Christmas bag,
Yay.
I cast on In the Loop by, it's Melissa Clulo, Espace Tricot. It's a free pattern. You can download it on Ravelry. And I just love this Sublime Baby Cashmerino Silk DK. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do In the Loop. So the outer is a darker gray and then the lighter color. And for my inside, you can see they have a few different wide stripes here. There's a gold and a pale blush pink. So initially I had these 2 colors, and this is kind of a dusty bluey, like a purpley blue, and this is a nice dark teal. And kind of Lisa and I were discussing my options, and I thought, okay, I'll go with the teal, and then my inside stripes will just be like my different shades of gray and a teal. Okay.
What are the shades of gray? Because those are the ones you're going to talk about.
Yeah, and a cream, and then can put the teal with it, right? It'll really look great. And like great accent color. So then we went to London Yarns, and I found Sugarbush. Sugarbush is an Ontario made yarn, and they have a base at London Yarns called Bliss. The twist, like, it looks identical. This has, the content is slightly different. This one is 75% merino, this is 70. They're both 20% silk, and this one is 5% cashmere. How long can I make you hold that up? And this is 10% cashmere, so a little more cashmere in the Bliss.
I'm just laughing because every time you hit it, they almost fall.
So I found this kind of, oh, it's not going to show great. It's a mauve, a dusty purple. Oh, right there. Like a dusty purple color. And I like that.
Looks way better.
Yeah, I think I like that better than the teal. It's more subtle, and that's me, right? And I also found this dark gray that I'm using is also Bliss. I found a slightly darker gray, and I thought that just looked a lot nicer with the light color. So they're almost identical look and feel and twist, and it was just the yarn Cosmos, the yarn Cosmos, yarn Karma, something. It was just great. Like, everything worked out. The yarn universe spoke to me and answered my question.
All the
solved
stars were aligned.
We're just sucking today at talking. So I picked up some balls of bliss to work on this project. I am still working on the stripy section. So it's actually a double cowl. There's a provisional cast on, and this is going to be the outside, and then you'll knit the inside and join them. And it's also a double wrap.
Very good.
The cast on was
tedious.
And it was like provisional cast on. Oh yeah, Miss Funny Girl here. So I'm provisionally casting on like 200 and I don't know, 80 some stitches, whatever it was. It was close to 300 stitches.
That was crazy.
Provisionally casting on forever, which actually is, it doesn't take that long. It's no longer than the Twisted German cast on. In terms of the number of motions, it isn't, but it just felt longer. And as I'm casting on, I'm, just commenting about, all these stitches I have to cast on. And then she says,
just wait until you have to garter to, what's it called?
Kitchener
them all together.
Yeah. There'll be double the number of stitches. I'm going to be Kitchenering around the whole thing when I join them. Thanks, Lisa.
No problem.
Something to look forward to. That'll be a good TV night activity. So I'm really loving this. I've been trying to work a little bit on it every few days.
I'm surprised about the stripes.
I know. I don't like stripes.
But I don't think they'll read as stripes around your neck.
I just love it.
It's nice.
Yeah, and I saw this, and they showed it on their podcast, and I just loved it. And I knew I wouldn't make it with like these colors. I don't really this mustardy gold color just doesn't wear on me. It's very popular and it looks good on so many people, but it's not me. So I knew I'd have to change the colors. And then I realized that I had this Sublime in my stash, and I have bought it for another project in mind, but I have enough. I have some extra because when it was on clearance, like half price, I just snapped it up. When you find cashmere on sale, half price, buy it. You'll use it for something.
You're going to be picking stuff off the floor for days. What's with you?
No vacuuming in here till I find everything.
So that was that.
So that was that. And, oh, do you want to talk about what else we discovered near London Yarns?
It was a couple doors down from London Yarns. There was this really interesting store called Prim and Pauper. And it had...
it's a maker's market.
Yeah, it's a maker's market. She has Canadian makers. She has local makers. She had some out of Orangeville. She had soaps. She had decor. She had clothing, and she also has workshops. So that's kind of, it's interesting.
Yeah, she does a lot of the, the rustic wood signs and things that are really popular right now, like with the stenciling on them. Yeah, there was a lot of that.
And she's got a lot of Christmas stuff up right now.
Yeah, like really. It's just all different makers in this space together. And then she does workshops for a lot of the wood projects.
And she's got a huge workshop at the back for the project. So it's not like 3 people have to go for a workshop.
So we'll put the website on the screen, Prim and Pauper Co.
Yeah.
So if you're a knitter and you head over to London Yarns, make sure it's just like 2 doors down. Just
a couple of doors down. Check it out.
Yeah.
And if you're from the London area, it's something your family could do.
It's a great place for Christmas presents.
Yeah.
For your Christmas shopping. Supporting local makers. Small makers. I forget what I got there. Did you buy something?
I did buy something.
I bought a little wee soap sample. But we were actually late. We were supposed to be somewhere, and we were running really late, and then we took our time in the store.
And then we were running very, very late.
So we
anybody invite us?
We had a quick look.
Probably be late.
Just this past weekend, we had a little outing.
It was. We met up and we went to Feather Your Nest, which we've mentioned before. But it was her Christmas open house, and it was beautiful. Yeah, it was really nice in there.
We've talked about Feather Your Nest before. She does have a lot of yarn, but she's also a home and gift store.
Yeah.
And it's just
this here. I got that last.
Oh, your pendant. Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful store for, if you are having a party or you need a special gift for someone.
A special gift. She does baskets up. She has tons of yarn.
She's got food, candles, napkins and
she's got the best tea
table
towels.
Linens. Yes, table linens, all kinds of neat things. Yeah. So she had samples of some of her treats out. And I actually didn't buy any yarn.
She has Rhea Thompson chocolates.
Yes. Really good. Yeah. Rhea Thompson.
Really good. Yeah.
What did I buy? I just bought a couple little things.
I
bought a jar of mustard. I can't remember what kind it is.
The other
fancy mustard.
What did I get? I got the gin
fizz gummies.
Gummies. You'll have to wait till Christmas for those.
That's adulting.
Yeah. And then I bought tea towels.
Yeah.
I just love the tea towels. Yeah.
A little Christmas cake.
Oh, she's got that bark. Those cookies were to die for.
So go to Feather Your Nest. If you come to Sarnia and you're watching us, so you're probably a knitter or a crocheter, you're going to go there for the yarn. Allow yourself some extra time to look through the store.
Actually, it's funny because we actually get orders for friends who don't live here to pick up candles.
Yep.
To pick up linens.
Yep. So. It's a great store. Okay, so those were our outings.
Yeah.
And we have something really fun to do now. We have to draw a winner for our Hat Madness knit along.
Okay.
Okay, so just in summary, it's closed now, but we had a Hat Madness knit along.
And it was awesome.
Oh, it was the best. And
I did 2 hats.
It coincided with
No bully.
The Hat Not Hate campaign for the month of October, which was for awareness against bullying, or awareness about, or whatever, about bullying. And also I released my Not Too Fancy hat pattern just right around the beginning of October. So for this knit along, you could have up to 3 entries. one for knitting any hat, another entry if you knit it in blue for the Hat Not Hate campaign, which was blue hats. We didn't say that. And a third entry if it was my pattern.
Perfect.
So any combination of those got you up to 3 entries. So the prize for this knit along. This was a really amazing donation to our podcast. Knitting Wolf Luxury Yarns is an Ontario indie dyer, and his name is Barry, and he dyed a special colorway for the Hat Not Hate campaign called Lewis's No Bully Blues. And this is because Louis Boria, who is Brooklyn Boy Knits, was one of the leaders of this campaign along with Lion Brand Yarns. So Barry dyed up this yarn. He is selling it through Brooklyn Boy Knits' website in like batches. So I know he just recently dyed up a batch, and I think it was sold pre-order. So you want to follow both of them to watch if you're looking to buy some of this yarn.
You know what? His photography is phenomenal.
His photography is amazing. His dyeing is amazing. He does really intense, often deeper, darker colors, but they're just a really rich, intense dye job. So Barry sent us each a skein of fingering weight yarn, and this is the worsted weight, which is the giveaway, and it's just amazing. The different tones in here. It's showing really nice on the camera, but when you see it in person, it's so pretty you could cry. So
He does that with a fountain pen, eh?
yeah, he writes a really nice note on his big card. I love it. And you saw it at the same time I did. And there's a little wolf progress keeper stitch marker.
I actually took mine off and put it on my daughter's hat.
I love that. Yeah, you
And
sewed
it's
it right on.
here. Yeah.
So Lisa made 2 socket hats with hers. And I am going to make a scarf. I had started a brioche pattern. I want to do brioche with this yarn. I started a brioche pattern that had some undulating lines in it. And it was just a little, I've done brioche before, but I just found this kind of overwhelming and time consuming. And I want to get this done. So I think I'm going to do, I haven't fully committed. I will either do just a straight brioche scarf, and I have a pattern in mind for that, or I have this book, Alternate, and it's just a stitch dictionary, and it's all colorwork stitches, and there are a couple of patterns in here. Oh, this is I should say it's Andrea Rangel. Okay, awesome book. And this is great if you want to put a pattern on a hat or mittens or something. That's one of them. So let me just see. I dog-eared these pages, which I shouldn't have, but no, that one was that one.
Oh, I like that one. I don't like that one.
Well, you're not the one knitting it, but I know what you mean. That's horizontal. I think I like the other one better. Okay, I think I'm settled on, I don't want to do,
Cover the graph.
yeah, I don't want to give away the graph, but I think these wavy lines is kind of what I have, what I may do. So I get the wavy lines without the brioche.
I do like that other one though. But it looks like little waves.
There's so many in here. So I'm either going to do a colorwork design or a straight brioche.
Okay.
We'll see. I want to get that cast on like this in the next week, so I have to make up my mind. So I haven't knit anything with it yet. Okay, so we need to pick a winner, which was the whole point of this conversation.
How many?
We had, it's like...
Well, it's 2 to what? Because you...
Not counting mine. I think there were 1 or 2 comments. If we happen to pull up one that's a comment, we will go to the next non-comment entry.
Above or below?
Next. Because let's say
Okay.
if it was like 100, but 100 was a comment,
Then 101 would...
101 would have been the 100, right?
Okay.
Okay, so there are 120 entries.
Surrey, pick a random number between 2 and 120.
It's 19.
The winner is not Christine, That's her hat. There's just a shadow from the photography. It's a blue speckle, and it's the not too fancy hat. So she had a couple of entries for all those criteria, and congratulations, not Christine. We're thinking it's not Christine. We'll put your name on the screen. Please contact us, and we'll get your address.
Oh, good job.
And we'll get this out to you.
It is Christine.
Yeah.
Yay.
Awesome. This is coming your way. Thanks
Lucky,
again. Thank
lucky
you
girl.
so much, Barry.
It is so gorgeous.
For donating the yarn to us. We're just blown away, and it's beautiful, and keep doing what you're doing because you are making beautiful yarn. And also, I think thanks to Lewis and to Lion Brand Yarn for the campaign. There's a lot more blue hats out in the world, and hopefully there'll be less bullying in the world. That's all for the knit-alongs. Oh, speaking of knit-alongs, so we announced in our last episode, which was almost a month ago, that we were having a sweater knit-along. Yeah, I didn't make the threads because weeks later, no one's complained.
Maybe nobody's started it yet.
Maybe nobody's finished. So we will get that made by the time you see this. There will be a thread for the sweater knit-along, and we will backdate it to that podcast.
Okay, perfect.
And it's just any sweater. And completing it by, I think we said end of February.
Kid sweaters?
Should we say adult? What do you think?
I would say adult or, yeah, like extra small and up.
Okay.
We have to include Noelle.
Yeah, adult, extra small and up. I mean, baby sweaters, it's not really fair because you can bang on a baby sweater in like a couple days, and then an adult sweater can take like a couple weeks, right? So, yeah, we'll say adult size XL or XS and up, but
Kind of make it for yourself.
hopefully, and we've gone to the end of February, so if you're busy doing holiday knitting and gift knitting right now, we hope you'll have time to cast on something for yourself.
Okay.
And part of that is because we both cast on a sweater, so we thought we would do a sweater knit along.
Okay.
So there will be, there will be prizes for that.
Okay, perfect. Do you want to do FOs?
FOs.
Okay, well, I'm wearing mine because I couldn't. I put it on and I'm not taking it off. It is my.
You have to take it off to show it.
It is my European road trip shawl, which is actually done. I did mine a bit differently. I didn't do it as wide, and I didn't do it as long.
This is by Espace Tricot.
Yeah, it's by Espace Tricot. It's free, and it's done with the Sylph by
Jade Sapphire Sylph. This is the called for yarn.
And it's to die for.
It's beautiful yarn.
So yeah, it feels amazing. It feels gorgeous when you work with it, and it feels really nice when you wear it.
Should we talk about it?
It's
58% cashmere, 42% linen. So it's a bit of an investment project.
I think it's more of a treat yourself project.
It's beautiful.
You could do it with other Holst garn. I would do it with the Coast.
The Coast base.
And it would be a lot more.
Oh, you could make it for like $40 if you use the
So,
Coast.
with me being the stature that I am, I'm glad I didn't only use the 4. I only used 4 skeins. It calls for 5.
5.
Or was it 3?
5.
5. So, because it's a good size. I could actually wrap it around myself and still have the tails hanging out twice. Mine is also only 18 inches across as opposed to the 24. Because if I did 24, that would basically come up here and go down to my bum.
It's quite wide.
So,
so the pattern specifications, the dimensions.
Yep.
You've got the length. You're a little less width, but it blocked out. You've got it right on the money for the length, which is like 80 inches tip to tip, because these long tips do add a lot of length when you're wearing it, right? Let's show some of the beautiful ways you can wear this. Oh, you may have to stand up and back up. I don't know. So you can wear it like a normal scarf with a once around the neck wrap. Or just let it hang like this. That's beautiful too.
So you can wear it on your shoulders.
I like that. It's nice and deep. So, if you're in a restaurant somewhere and the air conditioning's on, or it's just a cool breeze, you can have that right around your shoulders.
Could you imagine mine?
But it's so light and airy.
6 inches would be right down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you can wear it around your shoulders.
You wear plain.
You can wear plain.
Well, I can't.
Lisa's a bit too short.
Around
Wrap it.
once.
And you can even wrap this, there's plenty of length to wrap it twice.
Yes. But
So-
I might, you know what? I would do that with a coat. If I was wearing a coat, I might wrap it around twice.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
I love it. And I love the way it feels. Now, I did not, I think part of the reason that I got as far as I could.
Just talk like this so I can hold this yarn.
So I think part of the reason that I got it as big as I did was because I did a different gauge.
Okay.
I know I did because I wanted it. I was knitting it and I didn't like the feel of it. And that's my personal.
So you started with
I started with a 4
millimeter.
and I didn't like it, but I was getting gauge. So I changed one of them to a 4.5.
Just one tip.
Just one tip.
Yeah. It's a
One
cool
of the
idea.
joys of.
So
Yeah.
you
And you
get
could, when I was knitting it, you can't really see it now, but one of the ends you could see where I had change, and I was debating whether I was going to rip it out or not. Actually, I couldn't find it. I saw what
I wouldn't
might
even
be
say
it,
it's noticeable.
but
Yeah. It's barely noticeable.
But then the other half is I know where I changed needles.
You know
so-
where it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Love this.
I love
this
it.
is beautiful yarn. It's so soft.
I could never get a sweater made out of it though.
Why?
I'd never take it off.
It's
Never,
beautiful.
ever, ever.
If you want to invest in a beautiful yarn, and a really nice,
It's beautiful drape to
garment.
it. Really, yeah.
it's soft. The linen really softens up. Even when you're working with it, it's not like 100% linen, right? It doesn't feel hard at all.
It's, you know what? I thought it was soft when I was using it because I kept throwing it in the bag, taking it out, throwing it in the bag, taking it out.
It gets just the handling of
Just
it.
the handling of it. But then when you lay it all out and lay it all down, it's really nice.
Even in the skein, it does not feel crunchy.
So, I'm gonna have to make sure I don't wear this next to Dawn if we go out.
Well, I have this color, so
Yeah.
there is a difference, right?
Yeah.
And mine is not done yet.
No, I meant you'd probably be sitting there like this.
I know. We'll have to wear mine.
So yeah.
Love it.
I really love it. I'm really happy with it. I have determined that my cat has a thing for cashmere.
Yeah, your cat won't leave it alone.
He will not leave it alone. When it was wet, he was rolling in it, so I'd have to straighten it out again, and then he'd roll in it. At one point, he was like a burrito, and I'd be chasing him. So yeah, I had to basically lay it on the floor and close the door of the room that it was in
To dry it.
to dry.
I can't wait. I'm seeing
So-
yours done now.
I actually had to fold it in half to get it into the room so it would dry. But I sprayed the part where the crease was and laid it over something.
That's a good idea, folding it in half.
Yeah.
Especially because it's so light. Like,
Yeah.
you know it's going to dry. It's not
It didn't
gonna...
take very long for it to dry all the way through.
Awesome.
But, yeah.
This is an older FO, so I have talked about this on a previous episode this spring when I finished it. Okay, so I finished it quite a few months ago, but I'm wearing it now because it is a worsted weight. So the pattern is Surf by Kefren Pritchett, and it calls for fingering weight. I knit it in worsted. I used 3 skeins, and this is Yarnbird Studios. It was a one of a kind, and she had 3 skeins of it, and we're not going to quite pick it up, but there is hot pink and
Orange, and light pink,
coral.
and coral. And,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really
Beautiful.
pretty.
And it's just because it's worsted weight, I haven't been wearing it much, so I can wear
You're
it
a happy
now.
girl now.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, I used a 4mm needle, and it's beautiful. It's got lots of drape because I'm a loose knitter. So worsted on a 4mm needle might be denser for a lot of people, but this is probably what people would get on a 5.5, like most people. So I love it. I'm wearing it because I just blocked it on the weekend. I had steamed part of it, and then it was too warm to wear it, so it was hanging up, like it was never properly blocked.
Okay.
And it didn't need much in terms of pinning and shaping. It was just to open it up, right, and open up these really cool eyelets. They kind of have a bit of a wave. I love it. Okay, so that's what I'm wearing since we're talking about what you're wearing.
That's all I got for clothes.
I have a couple. I have knit up a little hat for Jack. This is called Speed Bumps, and it's by Crafty Mama Designs. And there's just, it looks like little speed bumps throughout here.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is worsted. I didn't quite use a full skein. And I'm just gonna grab the tag. It's Loving Path. Heads will roll. The Loving Path Fiber Arts. Her Aries worsted base, 100% superwash merino. The colorway is Shell Shocked.
Nice.
And last year my son's snowsuit and winter coat had blues, and I did the alpaca.
Oh yeah.
Which he loves, and he's already wearing. Like he's wearing the alpaca toque, double layer worsted weight alpaca toque.
He's happy. That's all that matters.
And it's only like 0 degrees. He loves it.
All that matters.
So he has a new snowsuit now, and it has greens and grays, and this is a perfect match. So
nice.
yeah. So I had picked this up actually at Kawartha.
Oh, nice.
The Kawartha Lakes festival in June.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I whipped this. He does not. I think the pattern is more of a slouchy style hat, and he doesn't like slouchy hats. No, and he doesn't like pom poms. He just likes a plain old hat. The yarn had a really nice twist on it, like I think a little tighter than a lot of worsteds I've used. So I actually used a 3.25 millimeter needle, which is pretty small for most people for worsted. For me, it's just right because I do knit loosely. When I washed and blocked it, it really stretched out because superwash does. And so I threw it in the dryer because it's superwash and you can. And that just sucked it back in.
Perfect.
To more of a normal
That's
size.
cute.
I love it, yeah. I won't try it on because me and hats. And this was in my sticks and pins little bag. Yay. And I actually, 3.25, I already said, I used, this is a Knitter's Pride, I think it's a Nova circular. And then I just had bamboos for when I got to the decreases. Because that's the size I have, or the type I have for that size. I finished, a friend of mine in Manitoba, my friend Stacy, she bought one of my bags, and then she asked if I had any stuff knit up just for Christmas gifts. So we had a Skype call and I showed her a few things just that I had from last year when I did the craft sale. So I sent her some and she got them yesterday, and then she messaged me and said, can you make more of these? So she wants some of the ponytail or messy bun hats. So I'm going to try and just use up yarn that I have. And so I pulled out my needles. This was like yesterday at lunchtime and did this one. It's navy with white. And this is...
it's white marled. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a white and gray. Can you see that? Yeah, there it shows. This is Lion Brand Thick and Quick. I can't remember if the marled is. The marled might be something else. Because it was just a little wee bit that I had left. But yeah. I use an 8 millimeter needle. And like anywhere from 40 to 40. 48 might be kind of big for me because I'm loose. But yeah, I just knit on. I usually do an even number of stitches and then kind of figure out what kind of, I just make it up, whatever pattern will work. So there's one that I did for her, and I'm supposed to do a couple in the next few weeks and then send them out to her. I know. They're fast, those chunky knits. She's learning to knit. Yeah, I taught her a year and a half ago, and she was doing really well, and she hasn't done it for a while. So she actually is, she's picked up some yarn, and there's a big cowl that she's gonna work on. Good. So she's awesome. Working on it on her own, and we had some conversations about gauge and needle size, and yeah, she has to go pick up a bigger needle because the one she had was a bit small for the chunky yarn that she bought. So,
your baby
hat, blanket. Okay, it's still damp because I was washing and blocking it. This is the Alpaca Baby Shawl by Marie Grace Smith. I think it's just called that because she must have used alpaca. So it's called the Alpaca Baby Shawl, and it's knit in the round, but it's a square shape. You start with DPNs because you start in the center and you work your way out. Do you want to hold up one side? It's beautiful. This is a beautiful gift knit. So you can see that pattern. The lace section is... Are you coming back?
Sorry, I had to stretch.
The lace section is very memorable and easy. I changed a few things. I changed I made notes on my Ravelry project page. I changed the increases. They were knit front back, but it leaves a little bar around the back when you do the knit back. So I did make one right, make one left on the appropriate side. And I did a knit one first, so you get more of a defined spine for each of the increases. And then the where you make the eyelets, all of the decreases were knit 2-togethers. And I changed them to slip, slip knits and knit 2-togethers just to get the different direction on the lean.
And when you do a slip, slip knit, do you actually slip, slip, then knit?
Slip knitwise, slip knitwise, put them back, and then knit through the back loop. That's how I do them. Unless a pattern tells me differently, but that's generally how I do it. And that gives you, when you're looking at your work, a slip, slip knit leans to the left, and a knit 2-together leans to the right. So when you do your toe decreases, that's what you're doing, right? So you get them leaning in. So I did them in such a way that they would lean just a little differently around the eyelets. And my notes are on my project page in Ravelry. I think I just called it Baby K, but you can tell by the picture that this is what it is. The yarn, okay, this was in my Mrs. Brown's bag. And I was using Loops and Threads, which you get at Michael's, Poppy, which is, I think it's 100% acrylic. No, 51% nylon, 49% acrylic. This is a really nice, soft yarn. It actually has some halo. And if you can see it there, but it's got some halo. And this color is called cream gray. So it's a cream background with gray flecks. But they actually have almost a mauvey tint to them. Yeah. It's beautiful. And they have not had it in the store since I bought it. They had one display with different colors, and I bought enough to make the blanket. This was 1.5 years ago. I have not seen this poppy base back in the store. So, you know, if you ever see it, and it's really nice. It's a worsted weight, I believe. Yep, it's number 4. It's really nice. So the only thing is that, of course, because it's acrylic, I'm getting a bit of edge curl, and this isn't dry. I had washed it yesterday and it was drying, and I had it in the bedroom with the ceiling fan, hoping it would dry for today. So I'm getting a bit of edge curl because acrylic just isn't going to block out and hold its shape the way a natural fiber will. I may try steaming. It's not bad, but I took it off so we could show it for the podcast. So I'm probably going to pin it back out and or just steam it and pull it, because you can see down here I'm getting a little bit of curl. And I just want it to, it's a gift, so I want it to look nice. But it's so soft and comfy. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's very soft.
This is a really nice soft yarn, I think, for a baby knit. So, and look at, you can see the halo on it. Yeah, kind of. It's really pretty. So,
good job.
That. Oh, I used a 3.5mm needle. I do not recall what the pattern called for, but I had tried a couple. I think I tried the initial, what the pattern called for, and I was too loose. And so I swatched, I think it was a 4.25 or a 4.5. So I swatched on a 4, and then I swatched on a 3.5. And I liked the 3.5 fabric the best. And so that's what I went with. So these are my Knitter's Pride Novas, and look at this cord. So this is what is cool about interchangeable needles, is you can get these joiners and you can make a really long cord when you need it, like this one that was knit in the round. So I don't even know if you can buy a cord that is this length in a, maybe for like an Afghan size, but so these joiners are fantastic because
cool.
Yeah. So that was that project, and I used 4, and I'm just into my 5th skein. Basically, you can, it's in the round, so you can just keep going with as many sections of this as you want. It would be a great blanket, like adult sized, right? Adult sized worsted blanket. It's just a fantastic pattern. It's so pretty. I think those are all my FOs.
There you go.
Those are all my FOs.
Good job.
Whips.
Oh yeah. Okay, so do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first. I'm gonna have a drink of coffee.
Okay, so I started something, was it last week or the week before?
Week before.
Yeah,
That's what
so-
that means.
Oh,
No,
okay.
1 is last week. 2 is week before.
Okay, so the week before last. And I had it, and it's just yarn I had at home, and I kind of love the way that
It's nice.
so it's, what's it called? Ingles by Caitlin Hunter.
Love it.
So yeah.
The yarn is
a Superwash Cascade 220. I've used it before as a DK when I was knitting a lot for my daughter, and it's
I think they call it a worsted,
they do,
but it would be a light worsted.
Yeah.
You can easily sub it for a DK.
yeah. So that's that.
I love
and
this.
both of them were in my stash, so it was
Both
all
grays?
good. Yeah, both grays.
Modifications?
I didn't mind the first set of
Hold it
eyelets.
closer.
The
The pattern called for eyelets above
here,
and below.
above here and below, and in the design. I didn't mind the ones above, and I didn't mind the ones below, but I did not like the ones that went through the design because you could actually see the light color carried behind
You
it.
can see the carry color.
Yeah.
You have a photograph of that, don't you?
I do.
Before you tore it out.
I think I do. If
We'll
we do,
put it in to
yeah.
show you.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Some people do, and that's have at her, but I just it was kind of bugging me.
So you tore it back and did
so
it
I tore
without.
it back and I did it without.
I like it like this.
I like it. I find sometimes for me, if there's too many elements, I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
Right, because then you have the
More
decreases,
simple,
you have the
more plain.
like the increases, then you have the eyelets, and then you have more and then you have the design, and then there's eyelets in the design. That's color work, and I found for me it was, yeah, I do like the ribbing, which is purl, knit through the back, purl. You can see it at the top. It's the same.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's easier to show.
So yeah, it's kind
It
of
gives you a little more definition on the ribbon.
It does. It's really pretty. I actually, if you hold it up again, I like the fact that it looks like there's eyelets here, like where the pearls are. There's little.
Yeah.
And that was, I thought that there were decreases when I saw the pattern, but it's not. It's just the way the pearl and the knit
Because you're going.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This pattern has a lot of ease. A lot of positive ease.
Huge. So
It's not
we'll
boxy,
see.
but it's just roomy.
Well, I chose a size that had 11 and 3/4 ease for me instead of 15.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I already have a boxy. I didn't want another one that big.
What else was I gonna say?
So we'll see how it goes. I know my gauge is off a bit.
Using a grab a needle measure.
4.5.
Oh, you know, a 4.5.
I checked before I came.
You're using
I'm using a 4.5. It asked for a 4, but again,
See, and I could get this. I could get this fabric with a 3.25 on this yarn for sure. So that's just gauge, right?
yeah,
We've
so
talked
that's
about
why
it.
you have to do the gauge swatch.
Yeah.
Don't go by what I'm doing. So that's that one. I
love
I'm
it.
hoping to be on Sleeve Island by the end of today.
I think you will be.
Yeah, I have only a 1/2 inch of ribbon.
And you do your sleeves 2 at a time.
I do my sleeves 2 at a time.
So you'll probably be wearing that on the weekend. You think?
Next week sometime, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
Cool.
And I'm doing my daughter. I was started one of these. It's a sock head cowl. It's done on a 3.5, and it's ribbing, stocking ribbing. We started these when we went to Scotland, and my daughter didn't finish hers, so I needed something to knit while I was doing the podcast.
Okay.
Because you know I cannot sit still.
Sockhead Cal, the same author as Sockhead Hat.
Yes, it's
Kelly
Kelly
McClure.
McClure. Yeah, I've done a bunch of them.
And do you remember what the yarn is? We were talking about this right
We
before we
didn't
started.
know. I thought it was.
I think it looks like Tosh Optic because you do get occasional little flecks of other colors. I don't know if you can see. There's one in there with Optic. You do get some just
Either that
really.
or my daughter spelled some stuff on it. She likes it because there's cashmere in it, obviously.
Yeah.
There's like cashmere and silk in it. It's really pretty. It feels like heaven.
So we thought it might be pashmina, but it definitely is finger weight, and I think pashmina is more of a DK, just slightly more, have a slightly bigger yarn.
It was like this in my stash. So yeah. Sorry.
Oh, she has one called. Does she have typewriter or is that hedgehog?
That's hedgehog.
Okay. And it's not hedgehog.
No, it's not hedgehog.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's optic.
Yeah, so.
But nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
so that's that. And I've had it in my stash for a while.
And you're
so
using
3.5.
3.5 millimeters.
I looked. Yeah, so that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that.
And your mitts?
And I am doing in my field bag. I'm gonna put this on here gently.
That's fine, yeah.
I'm doing socks actually. I started these, remember, eons ago? The Alegria socks. They're turning out really super crazy bright and they're kind of cool.
This is Manos del Uruguay, Alegria. Carnival?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it's called Carnival.
I bought
Still available.
I bought between 4 and 6 skeins of it because my daughter wanted a dress. And I started knitting the dress.
It's
and she
very
didn't
bright.
like it, so I have skeins of that.
That's exactly what it is, right there.
Yes, it is.
It's still an available colorway, so you can get that. You might even be able to get it in their Alegria Grande.
That's what I was just thinking. It'd be nice to add
think-
for a hat.
I think it is in the Alegria.
In my Roxy's.
Wait, those are just regular socks, right?
Yeah,
Just
those
vanilla
are just
socks.
regular vanilla Joe
Yeah.
socks. And here I have I started them, but I realized I didn't want to do ribbing. So I'm making another pair of vanilla mitts because I lost the other ones, even though she said they were ugly. She took them.
Yeah.
So this is called Call Me,
Call me.
right? And it is their
So they're vanilla flip mitts by Nina Talika, and she showed a completed pair that her daughter absconded on a previous episode.
Thanks, honey. And it's funny because I asked her, I said, do you like it? And she's like, no, I don't like the colors. And they're gone. And that is done out of their MCN sock, 80 merino, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon.
Nice. 2.25.
I want them tight.
Chalgu red lace. Lisa does hers 2 at a time.
I do everything 2 at a time.
Magic loop. We both like the Chalgu.
Those are interchangeables.
Yeah.
Those are my.
But we do both like the Chalgu sock needles.
Yeah.
And we both use 2.25.
I'm in, yeah.
And these are the new ones you got, right? Like the minis with so they have a finer cord.
Yeah.
You can see that's almost
barely
thread. It's like lace weight. Yeah.
I love them. So yeah.
I don't want to mess that up.
I know, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
And
So
that's it?
That's me.
That's a lot of whips.
Whoop, whoop.
I have a couple.
Well, you know what? I did that hat. I did a Caitlin Hunter hat. And I knit it all the way to when we went to Muskoka. And I didn't like it. Did not like it.
No?
Ripped it all out. Yeah.
But that happens.
You know what? It does.
If you don't like it, you don't like it.
So, yeah.
I already talked about my in the loop cowl, so we don't have to go over that again. I have
These
a
are
sock
pretty.
almost done. These are the Waiting for Henry sock, and that's by Tabby Gandy. I think she's Awesome Socks on Ravelry, but the sock is Waiting for
colorway?
Henry.
Sorry.
I just want to talk about the pattern. She is on the Hey Sister podcast, and her sister are also yarn dyers, and the pattern was initially written when she was expecting her son Henry, and they dyed some beautiful kits in their shop, and then our friend Noelle interpreted it as a Christmas sock, and I totally copied her.
You know what's funny is if you look at Noelle's, I thought hers was a different pattern because of the way the color took it.
Hers has green flecks in it, like red, white, or white with red and green flecks. So when she did this pattern part, it almost looks
like leaves, like vines.
Whereas mine is just the green
Arrows.
with the red and white.
But it's still beautiful. I love
it.
I love them both.
And then I did the green heels, and I'm ready to Kitchener, so it's
Put
just
it down.
paused.
Don't do it while we're working.
The yarn is Leo and Roxy. Yay! And it is the 80/20 sock. The white with red is Candy Cane,
Nice.
which I don't know why I'm showing this. You can't see it. The white with red is Candy Cane,
That's so cool.
and the green is called Holly.
Oh, that's a good one too.
I think I called it Spruce on our last box. It's Holly.
that's beautiful.
It's a lovely green. So yes, I am loving it. And
Did you do a different heel?
no, I did an afterthought heel.
Yeah.
I tried it on because I was concerned my color work was too tight. and it would be an issue around my ankles. It's not. I can get it up. Like I didn't make it really long. So, you know, here's my heel and it's kind of just an ankle sock. It's fine. I can.
Oh, perfect.
It was just a little wee bit getting it over the instep because there's not as much give right here. So if I'd have knit a little more before the heel, that might not have been an issue.
Now, sometimes the trick
it's
around
fine.
that is to go up a needle size or
Yeah.
half size, like a
Yeah.
0.5.
And it hasn't been washed and blocked yet either. But I was able to get it on my foot just fine. Did the heel. I did something different on this heel. So I've always done Kitchener with the setup stitches. Like the first 2 stitches, right? You go through them without slipping them off.
Doing that. Who told us to stop doing that?
I don't know. But I always did. Because that's just how I always did. So,
I think it was Noelle.
yeah. I knew that there was a way to not get the little, they call them ears or points at the end of your Kitchener. So I just searched on YouTube and found a couple videos, and basically all you do is don't do the setup stitch, and then at the end you don't, when you have 1 stitch left on each needle, instead of working those and then slipping them off, you just slip them off because you've gone through each one once. Slip them off, and then there's a way to pull the end in, so it just tucks that in. So it's a little smoother and you don't quite get that hard lump.
Very
So
good.
I'm going to do my toe the same way.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. But yeah, afterthought heel because I love it. I was going to do the double decrease, the center double decrease on this one, and then I was just like, I just didn't feel like looking it up again, so I just did a regular.
Nice.
I
like the double decrease on the heel, but because the way I do my socks, I can't do it on the toe because you do 2 at a time.
Well, you could slip one onto
A spare.
Yeah, or onto DPNs. I did knit these. Oh no, I knit the whole thing on my DPNs. So these are my Knitter's Pride cubics. They're the kind of rosewood.
Yeah.
They're actually square shaped. You can't really tell.
Nope.
But I love these. These are my favorite DPNs. I love knitting with DPNs. I often use my ChalGoo circulars, but I love DPNs too. So I think all my other needles were on socks. And when I'm doing pattern, I like using DPNs. I don't know why. I think it gives me more, I don't get as much of a ladder on the side because it gives you a rounder shape when you're knitting. I don't know. If I'm doing something with pattern, I love using DPNs. So that's just me. Oh, and these are 2.25 also. I pretty much always use 2.25. What I could have done is gone up to a 2.5 for the color work. Yeah. And that's all I have to say about that. This one's almost done, and I'm going to work on the other one. My sock. In the loop cow. Oh.
Did that one.
These are the only 3 I brought. I cast on a sweater. My first sweater for me. I have knit sweaters. It's my first one for me. I've only knit kids sweaters. So I have cast on the easy bulky one.
You have to show the birdie bag.
Hang on. Okay, first I got this out. It's the easy bulky one by Hohi. She makes it in a fingering weight, the easy one. I think it's fingering.
Yeah.
Or the bulky. And I want it to be fast so that I finish it, because I might never finish it. So I've started it so that I have this for winter. We're trying to keep our house a lot cooler and reduce our heating costs. So
When you come over to my house?
yeah, like I'm wearing socks and slippers and the bag. So this is a special sweater bag I made myself. A nice big one, and it's kind of a canvas fabric with this really pretty bird print on it. I just love it. I had kits made up in my shop. They're both sold out. I do have some just narrow pieces left. I may be able to get 1 or 2 more bags, depending on, like, it'd be nice to see the birds in it. So depending on what's left and what size it is, I'll have a look and see if I can squeak out 1 or 2 more bags. I don't know if I can get this fabric anymore, but if I can, I would get a little bit more. I just love it. And then my bags had different linings, but this one I only had a little bit of this fabric. So it's got this teal butterfly lining and this teal canvas bottom.
I like the teal canvas.
This is a good sweater size, isn't it? And this is the gypsum colorway. If people don't know what gypsum is,
It's drywall.
it's a rock that they crush to make drywall. So in northern Manitoba, there's a town called Gypsumville because there's a source of the rock for this stuff. But yeah.
So I wonder if they have it there.
I know what gypsum is. Or drywall or sheetrock. People call it
sheetrock.
sheetrock. Yeah. Okay. And I made a corresponding needle keeper, which I talked about on our last episode about different ways to use your needle keepers. It's fantastic. And I am just about done enough. You started across the back, and it's pretty much a square shape. So my first step was just to knit so much length. So I think I'm almost done. I have to measure again. I may have to do a couple more rows. I'm using a 6mm needle.
You're not in the round yet, right?
Nope, not jointed around. This is just straight. So, and I am using my 6mm Licca because that's what I got the best gauge at. So it's, I did a couple swatches on this and I actually washed them just to see if it would grow. Yeah. Because it is because it's so chunky, like you can kind of see through it. But I didn't want it too loose or it would look really, really holy.
Good job.
Yeah, awesome. So I have to get back on that. I wanted to get that baby blanket done. Now that it's done, I was pushing myself to finish it because I started a 1.5 years ago and it's a gift for someone who I will be seeing again. So I need to be able to have it done.
Awesome.
I just want to hold this bag. It's so nice. And other than that, I do have my road trip shawl. I didn't show it when we were talking about it, but this is an Evertote bag, an Evertote drawstring bag. So it's in here, and I'm on my 4th ball. Just recently started, or just about to start. Can't remember. And then I did order ball number 5, skein number 5, just in case. But
make sure you fade those in, eh?
Yep. Actually, I didn't with the other ones. There's no dye lots on these, but the other ones were all ordered same batch. So this one I made.
I would probably do it just for my own
sanity. Yeah. So I'm gonna compare my width to your width, and I may not do, because I tried hers on, and I may not do the 5th one. It may be just fine with the. Yeah, we'll see. I have one other bag here. This is my next cast on. So this was our Kitchener Show 2017 bags.
Yay.
We had matching ones.
I didn't get to show them my bag from the one that my daughter took from Scotland.
Oh. This was my very first project bag, and it's an oddball shape because I had a weird little remnant left.
I love it.
So I knit us some little bags like over a year ago. I am going to do a worsted cowl brioche.
Okay.
I want to do a cowl, and I would think I would like a double wrap cowl.
Okay.
Not a scarf, but I went through Ravelry and I favorited a bunch.
Good.
So I'm not sure if I'm going to do it where it's like cast on how many stitches and do it in the round, or if I'll do it provisional cast on, because you can provisional cast on brioche and join. And I made sure I watched some videos to make sure it was something I could handle. So this is Leo and Roxy.
That's a pretty one.
Yeah, this is the merino worsted in Americana. I think I showed it last time.
Yeah.
Which is named after a breed of chicken which lays these beautiful bluey speckled eggs. And I want a brioche, but I don't want anything too wild and crazy. So I actually got a hold of Leo and Roxy and asked for a skein of this yarn undyed.
Oh,
so I just have a natural color. Yeah.
That's pretty.
So it'll be these two. It'll be really pretty. Yeah. So I was going to wind them up, but I want to photograph these together before I wind them. And then I've got my winder set up in my kitchen, and I'll cake them up later today and make up my mind on a pattern, and then I'm going to brioche. Good job. These. And these I may do a brioche that has some
meandering.
Maybe.
I
think it'll be easier in worsted, and it won't slow me. The project will go faster, right, than fingering.
Very cool.
So that's my next cast on. Do you have a next cast on?
I don't.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna. You know what though? I am going to do that sugar coat.
Good.
I love that coat.
Good.
Yeah, so I have that. That's actually,
So
it's all in
we'll
a
talk
bag.
about, the pattern's called Sugar Coat. You can look
Yeah.
it up. And it's one that she's actually knit.
I've knit in the past. I think it was on one of our first podcasts.
Yeah.
And it's a hooded, it's a jacket with nothing to do up, and it's got a hood.
Just an
and
open
pockets.
cardi, right?
Yeah.
No button band.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. But that was the worsted weight knit, wasn't it?
It was, so it
Yeah.
shouldn't take me too long.
Yeah. But she knit it, and then a friend loved it and took it away from her. So she has
That's
to,
alright.
she has to make it again. Yeah. It was a good friend. She's knit worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we talked about, between us, not you guys. We've talked about wanting to add a little section to our podcast. Maybe not every episode, but we'll try. Oh,
Do you have any other,
no, you want to talk about this first?
any other
Nope. Acquisitions?
You didn't do it. You just that
This
one.
stuff,
Okay.
pretty much, and the
Sorry.
Lily and Roxy.
Okay. So, everybody, I went shopping. We went up to Muskoka. Went to Muskoka and we went shopping, and I found this, and I'm so excited that I found it. Everybody knows I love wearing work socks. They're the most comfortable thing ever. So I actually bought all the colors required to make my own work socks.
I like this charcoal.
It's nice, eh? So it's going to be the standard work sock colors. It's Croy, so it'll be nice and thick.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool.
We have,
Pretty happy when I found
if you've
that.
been watching us for a while, it was about a year ago, we were on a work sock shawl binge,
Yeah.
knitting binge, in Sock Monkey
Right.
style.
Yeah, the work socks. Yeah.
I actually have one. You can see the white with
Yeah.
the red stripe.
Yeah.
And you did a
Bunch.
sweater. Lisa
and
did
I
a
have
boxy.
boxy with it, and I have a sweater. But
Have
yeah,
you done a
it's just-
hat?
I've done a bunch of hats, but I don't have any of the hats left.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all gifts.
So
and
those are gonna be
whatnot.
awesome.
So yeah, it'll be good.
Cool.
I can't wait. It'll be nice. And then it'll be.
You have to do them longer so you can see them over your boots.
You know what? Sometimes it's hard though. I find if you want to do something different with socks, it's hard to find solid colors.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a lot of hand dyes, a lot of self-striping, but not a lot where you can make those.
Peyton's
So,
Croy is good for that, as well as some of the
Regia.
Regia. Yeah.
Regia is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. Yay.
Awesome. Okay. We are adding a new section to our podcast.
Yay. That's
And
what we're doing.
we kind of played around with a few names, but at the beginning, if you saw us come up with a new one, our knitting lifestyle.
Yes.
So our knitting takes us, well, our friendship and our
Yeah,
knitting
I'd say.
takes us on little adventures, and we've been trying different things. So this is going to be non-knitting things we've done or found or want to share with you.
Yeah, but it's not, yeah.
You know that we are big into supporting small makers, local makers, indie dyers.
Also women. Like
yeah.
women's. There's a
Women
big,
businesses.
Yeah, that's really.
And so we have a few things along that line. Every year we have our Love Local make along.
Yep.
And so along those lines, we have a few things to share with you.
Okay.
Do
So,
you want to talk about these first?
well, she's local. She's actually local. She's from Ontario. She designs them. She's a graphic designer.
Okay, show them what it is first.
Yeah, actually, there's a. Okay, so I can be kind of antisocial. And yes and no. So you have longer arms. Can you? So that's
So this is a pin.
yeah, and it says it's two people-y outside.
And you ordered this from...
I ordered it from Makeology. There's makeology.ca is her website, and I actually followed the link through Instagram. Sorry. And
Okay.
It, easy peasy. Talked to her through there, and it came in the mail, and it's so cute. Like she even has little ones that say.
Was this a pin?
No, it was in with that. So
Okay.
I think got it.
I make
But
things.
the actual, she has a pin that says I make things. And
Okay.
It's like a bunting.
Okay.
It's really cute. She had a bunch of them that were really nice, but it's two people outside.
Nice.
So yeah.
So that's Makeology. Check out, here, this is cool. Check out the series Make Things on YouTube, showcasing makers and their spaces.
Yeah.
So she has a YouTube channel, and she's on YouTube called Makeology. So
Yeah,
check her out.
So it's kind of like
Awesome.
she's just outside of, she's in Milton.
Cool.
So yeah. So that was kind of cool. I thought that was funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
We,
You left yours in the other room.
no, I have it. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about something else first. We recently went to a local craft sale. So here in Sarnia, there are many really good ones. There's a lot of good local makers. The big one is Big Brothers Big Sisters, the show and sale, and it was just this past weekend. And at the show and sale, we stopped at a booth called So Comfy
Designs, yes.
This is a Sarnia maker. Her name is Randa, and she reclaims leather and turns it into all kinds of bags,
Little
purses,
bags,
wallets, clutches. So she posted a picture. The sale was 2 days, and on Saturday she posted a picture of her booth. I saw this in the picture.
Sorry, that was really loud.
Hang on, it's got there. The stuffing's all out of it. I saw this bag.
It's gorgeous. It's really pretty.
It's huge.
Now, she mentioned on Instagram, she's just got a stamp, and if you look, where is it? It's on the bag.
Yep, she just got a new stamp.
I thought it was on, there it is right there. So comfy.
So instead of a label, she now stamps her leather. So this bag, it has this really awesome strap. Beautiful teal colored sateen lining. There are pockets inside. She does sew on a label on the inside. There's a zip, a nice deep, like
it's huge. It's
way down
huge,
to here,
yeah.
zip pocket on the inside.
I like the way she took the detail from the couch, though. She did point that out.
Yeah,
like that's from.
This leather actually was on a sofa that somebody was getting rid of, and someone knows her, and they called her on the day of the big item garbage collection day.
I called her a urban hunter.
Urban hunter.
So she will go out and skin.
She'll skin
your sofas that are stuck on the side of the road. If
so that's what she did. She reclaimed the leather off of this sofa and took all, and those are some nice big pieces of leather.
Yeah.
So she took all the big parts and the good parts and turned it into bags.
So that's really upcycled. Like that's
oh my gosh,
beautiful.
Okay,
I thought this was kind of cool.
There are some cool features. Yeah. Okay, hang on.
I like that one.
So she's attached and it's removable, but there's this little thing which you can slide this down, and there's a key fob, so you can tuck that inside so you don't lose your keys. This little pouch matches, and it can come off and just go inside the bag. This strap, which I love, she also included a canvas long strap, so if you want to wear it crossbody. And
I don't know that I would wear that crossbody.
I don't think I would either.
I love this strap. This strap is beautiful.
I know. I don't. That's the thing. I don't want to take this
forget
strap.
it.
She uses a carabiner style.
Oh,
ring,
nice. So you can take it all off.
So it's a big carabiner, and you can just open it up and take this and change the straps on that. So.
And she says it comes with a warranty.
Yes, she'll warranty all of her workmanship.
Fix anything that.
This bag has been handmade from an upcycled leather. Okay, now this says jacket because she normally was buying jackets, but this that we know that this particular bag came from a couch. It's one of a kind, like you, an original design by So Comfy Designs, made in Canada.
Now you can follow her on Instagram. She usually posts on Instagram.
We'll put. She doesn't have. She has SoComfyDesigns.com. We'll put that on the screen. She's also on Instagram, and Facebook, and Pinterest. Anyways, she's got So there's care instructions on the back.
But they're gorgeous. Just
amazing. So I stopped at her booth, and this bag was still there. And it's an early Christmas to me. I love it. I just love it. And she includes a. This is also upcycled, recycled. It's a sheet that she has sewn into a dust cover.
Very cool.
The bag. I want to get using that bag. I haven't been using it because I wanted to be able to show it. So amazing. So check her out. And if you're in Sarnia, follow her, or even if you're not, just follow her to see, because a lot of her stuff is...
She'll actually ship too.
Yeah. But it is one of a kind. Like she just gets she'll have a jacket or a piece of furniture, whatever it may be. And that's all the leather she has. And she'll make what she can out of it. And she does custom designs. She's worked with buyers that have wanted very specific design features. She's done some really awesome big bags with like fringe on them. Just cool. Really cool.
No, she's done
she's
some
so
amazing.
talented.
She's very talented.
Yeah.
I look at a jacket, I don't know how she comes up with what she does.
And if you're local and you ever have leather furniture that you're getting rid of, you can message her and she'll coordinate the time and she'll come over and skin it. So,
the urban hunter she is.
Urban hunter.
Okay.
Okay, we have talked about
Lake Life.
Lake Life Studio, and in a previous episode, I think it was back in the spring, we did a little road trip and went out and checked out the studio and took a bunch of photos and put them up, and that's where we got our big self-defense mugs, solid mugs. When we were there, we inquired about her classes. So she does glass fusing workshops, and she has like fixed projects that you do. So if it's your first workshop, this is what you make. But you design your own, but it's a specific style. And you can book private, or you can just join in when she has another workshop going on. We booked a private one with some friends.
And you have to book well in advance.
Yeah, she's booked up like probably 3 to 4 months ahead.
We booked
in the summer.
Adrian and I went out and we booked in August.
For October.
Not August, it was before August.
It was before August, It
was while you were gone.
Yeah,
we did it.
June, July.
Yeah.
So, we took a class for making a fused glass plate. And let's show them.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, you want to do, I guess maybe we'll do it at the same time and then we'll talk about it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! Okay, talk about yours.
Okay, so mine is, it just reminded me of a big piece of ice. Can you see the texture?
Yeah.
Like my house, you've been at my house, it's not very colorful. So it's kind of neat, and I love the texture, and I love the...
Yeah, if you tip it, you can kind of see the texture.
So it looks like cracked ice when you were a kid. You know, you jump on the puddles, and that's what it would be
like. I
like.
love doing that. And then the air bubbles would be white like this.
Yeah, or there would be snow on top of it.
I love the sound it makes.
That's what I wanted.
That's better than bubble wrap, that
And
sound.
it's funny because I saw one, but the other one had all these other colors, and I'm like, no, I want that, but I want it to look like ice. So yeah. So it's heavy.
Yeah, during the class, okay, so with this one, you make
get
a
it
flat
it's
plate.
Flat. She gives you one piece that's flat, and then you have to puzzle pieces on top of it, and she teaches you how to cut it, and she teaches you, and then you have to puzzle piece another layer. So this is actually 3 layers of glass.
And mine's only 1.
And no, yours is 2, because there's the flat
base.
Gives you, and then you have to do it twice. And then she gives you these sandy, crunchy. Now these are coarse ones; they're a bit bigger.
Like broken glass.
Yeah, and you sprinkle them on, and that's how you get that effect. And then you give it to her, and she does her magic in the big kiln, and that's what you get.
It's hard to see, but it's textured because it's all...
Yeah,
it's like a mosaic.
Interchangeable, and some of them go deeper into the others.
You just did a mosaic of clear glass and layered it.
And then did another mosaic on top of it.
And then to get the curve...
Yep.
It's a second firing in the kiln.
Yeah, because she fires it once to get the texture, and then... Yeah.
And then the curve just... Yeah, she just lets it sink a little bit.
So this goes on my black table in my kitchen.
Oh, that'd be stunning.
Yeah, so it looks kind of neat when you look through it.
It is. It is so cool. And you totally design your own. She has all different colors of glass, and she teaches you how to cut, so you can cut your own shapes. And then she does have the glass crumbs. This is me. Can you tell? It's a lake.
No, I'll hold it.
Okay. So it's a lake. I just use different shades of blue and a little bits of white, so it looks like white caps.
Now, see, if you go like that, you can see that it's textured as well.
Yeah, and up here you can see this is actually made with clear, like just different.
Yeah, like I did on mine.
I just laid out like a mosaic of clear glass. Yep.
So that's beautiful.
I love it.
That's what we did.
I love it, and I got mine curved as well.
Yes, and
we went with. There were 7 of us.
Yep. There was Noelle did the long strip. She did a long strip that you can hang in a window. It was really beautiful, and she went from light to dark.
Yeah.
And the Fiber Friends.
Yeah, and everyone's piece, and our other friend Dale.
Yeah.
Everyone did something
totally different. Yeah.
We highly recommend it. Either go on your own and join a class.
Yeah.
It's very it's very independent work. It's not a social time because you've got only so much time and you got to get it done.
I found it very relaxing though. Even cutting that glass.
It's not rushed. It's just the right amount of time. And because she has glass pre-broken, pre-cut, and then you can...
Pre-everything, yeah.
And I love it because, you know, I love the lake here.
Yeah.
And I love the colors of the lake here. And so this is just
It's perfect. It's
totally
you.
me. That was so much fun.
It was good fun.
One other quick thing. I wanted to, I asked Lisa before we started if it would be okay to do this. Lisa makes a body butter.
Oh, right. I'm like, oh no, what did I agree to?
Like, I don't have it sitting here, but it's in a little, I have a little jar of it. It is a homemade body butter, and it is so rich and moisturizing and amazing. And I use it at night before bed, especially on my hands and cuticles, which get really dry. It's amazing for your legs.
I use it on my toadies.
Yep.
And then I put socks on.
Yeah. It's just...
Do not try walking without the socks.
No. And, I think when Shauna was here, she kind of like... she must have...
ate it.
Yeah, she put a little goes a really long way, but she slathered her body in it a few times, and there was like footprints around the house. So Lisa, I'm gonna put it on the screen. And I think we can also put them in our Ravelry group as well, if you need to copy those. But it's just fantastic. And she puts them in the little wee glass...
mason jars.
Yeah, the little wee ones.
But if I make it for you, you have to bring the mason jar back or I won't refill it.
Or bring her one to use. And yeah, so it's a great holiday gift, a homemade body butter. And it's amazing. It's just, I love it. So I wanted to share that. Okay. That's all of our knitting content.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a really quick shop update.
Okay.
So we'll just do that now if you want to stick around for the shop update. So I had a quick update on our last episode before everything went into the shop. So I just now have a lot more bags to actually sew up to show you. So I have ball bags. I think I called them ball bags. And this is a new size. So there are a couple that are just, are you going to be okay? Ball bags / sock sacks. So this size, I have, my older size was just a tiny bit smaller. So my new size is going to be a little bit bigger. They're the same price. And they're lined, snaps. I put a little tab.
Snaps are pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Because then you can close it up and just have your yarn come out of it. It will hold a cake easily, like if you look at the size, right? It will hold your cake and it will hold your sock. Okay? And snap up. So lots of room in these.
Cool.
I was initially doing them not interfaced, and then I did some interfaced. I think I like them with the interfacing.
I like the way they stand with the interfacing.
Yeah, just a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
So I'll probably keep doing the interfacing and sometimes I have fabric that doesn't cooperate.
Probably didn't need
No,
it,
the
right?
canvas was really good.
Oh,
But sometimes I have fabric that wrinkles and puckers and it just is
Not
difficult
cooperating.
to interface. So the canvas actually worked fairly well. This is a small drawstring. My drawstrings are not interfaced because they just get manipulated so much. I'm not going to go whoosh because then it wrinkles it all up and I have to iron it again before it gets mailed out to somebody. But I do have the double side. Generally I use bias tape.
Nice.
Coordinating color because it's easy. These are the glitter bread men. So
Glitter bread. I like that.
I don't know if it's picking it up, but it's sparkly. It's really pretty.
cute.
There's just subtle glitter in here. And then there's little mini gingerbread on the
Oh,
inside.
that's cool.
Yeah. Is that showing? Oh, and candy canes. Super cute. So this is the small drawstring. It is a little bit bigger than the ball bag. So definitely a hat, a sock head hat or a sock head cowl, a pair of socks, anything.
one skein
a one skein project.
One
Super
skeiner.
handy. And you can also fold them down when you're working and turn it into a little yarn bowl or bucket as you're knitting. Okay. And then this is my medium drawstring size. And this is in my, these holiday flamingos. And it has a snowflake bottom that you can't see in the screen, maybe like that. A little bit of a glitter on that too.
Cool.
A silver sparkle. And the lining probably won't pick up. Oh, a little bit. It's a white on white snowflake print.
That's cute.
You can kind of see it there.
It's like
it's very, very subtle.
it's like a snowbird one.
Yeah, you can kind of see the snowflake print. So that's the medium. This is definitely like a 1 to 2 skein size. Okay. And then I do have my medium zipper totes, my medium zipper bags. They all usually have a strap, and this has the same fabric. These are interfaced. These have a twill bottom. And there's a lot of needle keepers in this shop right now. I have a few. I've sold my bird bag that I showed you, this one. I had 2 sets of bag and needle keeper. They've sold, but like I said, if I can get a few more made with the scraps I have left, then I'll try and get those done in the next few weeks and get them in the shop. But I do have some needle keepers still in that. It's just a really pretty pattern, even if you don't have a matching bag. So there are some needle keepers of those. The Sock Monkey fabric right now is sold out. So cute. They have sweaters and hats and scarves. And yeah, they're sold out right now, but I have more fabric. I know I can make a few more. So I'll be working. I do have an order for one person, but I'll be making a few more. And then I had also sewed out is I didn't bring the needle thing to show you. The Woodland Santa is what I called it. So it's kind of a vintagey, old world looking Santa, like not the cartoon kid Santa.
Yeah.
And there's like trees and deer and like little owls. And that one was super cute. It had a green candy cane lining.
Okay.
Those are sold out right now, but I know I have a bit more fabric of that too. I don't buy a lot of fabric. Usually I buy like maybe 1 meter of the print. And I can get,
everybody doesn't end up.
well, and I don't want to have like, 50 bags all the same, because I just don't make or sell that many. So I like to make a variety and be able to offer you a few different prints, but they are in limited quantities. So if you see something you like, just know that I generally don't have a ton of the fabric, and I usually what's in my store is ready to ship. And for that reason, I don't want to have pre-orders. And then I always fear, like, what if I mess up a bag and I have no more fabric? So they're usually ready to ship. And if you see a style in a fabric you like and you want it in a different size, just message me and ask, because if I have other fabric and it's not pre-cut, then I could maybe make you something in a different size. It's possible. I don't do a lot of custom orders, but I'm just saying that it is possible, and you can always message me and find out. Yep.
She's not really that harsh. If she says no, she says
Well,
it
and
nicely.
this is not a full-time shop for me. Now that I'm in school, it's my time for sewing and my time for knitting. There's too many things competing for my time. So I do enjoy the sewing though. I really liked getting back to it. But I have some orders for Lisa. I have a custom order for Lisa and an old order for her mom that I still haven't finished. Yeah. So thanks to everyone who's supported me and ordered from my shop. I had a couple of good sized orders, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And one other thing for my shop. I have some new stitch markers. So
It's like an earring.
Progress Keepers. They're not, well, you could.
No, just because of the way they're hung up. I was like, what?
I'm trying to turn it there. So this is a little holiday set. So there's a Christmas tree.
Cute.
Yeah, Christmas tree and a snowflake.
Nice.
Yeah. And when I do my bags, I ship a Progress Keeper with the bag, with the medium or bigger size bags as well. But these, you can order just these if you want. And I still have the sheep and yarn sets. So anything that I have will be in my shop. And right now there are some sold out items, so I have to either
Get to work.
make more or maybe they're sold out.
Very good.
And that's about it. I think that's all I have to mention. Oh, and I have some de-stash yarn in my shop too, and I need to be adding more. So if you're looking for, you know, just odds and ends of yarn, you could check out the de-stash yarn as well. I have more to put in there, and I will vacuum seal that, so it's the least amount of shipping I can get away with.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
That's all.
That's all she wrote.
We'll have a few pictures at the end here.
Mm-hmm.
I've been putting some during the episode now, so there's not as many at the end. If you stick around to watch them, thanks. And just hope you enjoy your knitting. Make time to make something.
Happy knitting. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.